All right, folks, how's it going? We're back. So yesterday I was playing Dark War Survival. I had some fun in Frozen War. Today we're going to move on right along to the next game right here on my screen. So another survival game, Whiteout Survival. I've seen many ads for this one. Believe it does pretty well in terms of total revenue as well on the market. So without further ado, let's check it out.
This shelter has been abandoned for some time.
Bill, slow down.
Perhaps we can find some supplies.
So already you can see the similarity if you watch my last video with Dark War Survival. These games seem to be clones of each other. I don't know where it started. There's probably an interesting investigation there. So a lot of similarities between the three games I've already played.
Are you all right, Grandpa?
Don't worry. It's just a little...
You haven't eaten properly in days. You can't go on.
I'll make some soup for us. A hot meal is what we need.
Even the narrative is very similar. You have someone who's not doing well, they have to make some food. You have the characters sliding in and out. I'll give credit to Dark War. They had animated characters instead, so that's a one-up. Whereas these are more stills. A lot of hand-holding with an actual hand on the screen as always. Right down to the furniture. So we saw the same mechanics in the last game, where you have furniture you have to upgrade within the buildings, and then characters that you assign to the building to run it.
I hope this is enough for everyone.
They even had a table with 8 chairs, or however many chairs that is.
The wind's picking up like crazy. A blizzard's coming.
Everyone, hide inside.
So I guess instead of zombies, we have the weather as a problem.
Bill, he fainted.
Grandpa? Grandpa, what's wrong? Get him on a bed. Hurry.
My...
Bill!
Wake up, Grandpa! Wake up! Bill's passing was hard on everyone, especially Sean, who spent the entire night weeping. Buster
So
found
sad.
a notebook while sorting through Bill's belongings.
Ooh.
Construction plans. Grandpa always dreamed of building a safe home for us. We must put them to good use. I agree. Protecting us was all he ever wanted. We'll make his dream come true.
Gotta make his dream come true. So here we go. We got light a fire. So let me guess, we're gonna have a central fire on our map. That's gonna be vital to staying warm and keeping the bad weather away. You have chapter missions again. These are all carbon copy designs. Fast follow. I imagine one game comes out and does well, and there's developers who have the team available to copy with a different art style, maybe a little twist on the narrative. But really all the UI outlines, all of the game mechanics have already been prescribed, so you just have to build them and put your own spin on it and potentially have a successful game. I mean, capturing a good narrative and capturing the best parts of the mechanics and improving on them would be important. So we'll see what other changes we have. Resource pack download reward. Download the resource pack. I don't even know what that is. But sure, I've got some keys and some gems. I'll take that. Okay. Welcome to Whiteout Survival. Okay, so there's a nice welcome message. I like this. It gives you some gems as well. So one of the first features you unlock here is the inbox. Report, stars, alliance wars. There's not much else. It's just welcome messages from the game. That's a great CRM tool to have because you can communicate with players if there's issues in your game, if you want to promote a new event or a new content drop. And the ability to give rewards guarantees eyeballs and engagement with the messages you're sending, whether or not the person reads it. As even me, I just skipped over it pretty quickly. Is that's out of your control, but making sure you get them to that spot is always important. So we're into the world building now, and I'm even seeing some of the same, hovering icons, although I can't seem to click it. I guess it's just bringing me here to upgrade. Okay, so now I'm getting the similar prompt we saw in other games where you can only build so many buildings at once. You can only construct, and so they want you to, here they're offering a trial essentially for 15 minutes of the construction queue, and if you like it, maybe you'll purchase what they want. And what they want you to do is, is purchase a second builder for gems or real money. Again, one of the things I didn't call out in the video yesterday for Dark War, which is again happening here, is a lot of these buttons, they're all deep links to other parts of the game. And so I don't actually have to get out and navigate and scroll the world. I can just use the buttons. You can see here I need to upgrade the furnace, I still need shelter 1 level 2. And so I just hit go and whoop, I'm in there, and it shows me, hey, you're only at 25%, so keep upgrading. I can upgrade, that's cool. Claim my prize, claim all. So we've got the first chapter done. So it's very easy for me to just spam through. And you just get tapping. Here again, I'm missing some of the requirements, so jump into Furnace 3.
Outside. Wait, is that a bear?
Hi there. I'm Natalia, and her name is Cassia. Don't worry, she won't bite. I've rescued some survivors from the snowstorm. Some of them needs to be treated immediately. Can you take them in?
So we had a similar narrative in the last game where you have to add more survivors to expand your base. Oh, interesting. So this is a different mechanic. We didn't have this kind of prompt or information. Here I have to make a choice. Do I accept all the survivors? Or do I take the healthy survivors and leave poor Harold on the buy side? I imagine Harold's the ill one, given the red gradient or red image on top of him. And I could reject all of them, which would be pretty crazy. I'm gonna only accept the healthy survivors. We're a small group. We can't afford anyone.
But our newly built city is desperate for medical supplies. And we don't have the resources to provide adequate care for the sick.
Thank you for sheltering the survivors. It means
So we only get 2, but I have room for 6. And so we do have this overview, this score count of working, sick, or resting. So instead of having casualties in the last game, we have sick people. And I imagine sick people can actually help your civilization, but maybe you can heal them over time. View the production status of buildings. Okay. So I can actually add someone to the hut. It won't let me click it because it's on rails of the tutorial right now. Okay, so there's some bars here you have to keep full to keep your your survivors healthy, which is reminds me a bit of like the Sims that would do this, making sure their different levels are happy so that you can, you know, keep them working, keep money coming in so you can keep building out your house and whatnot. So I don't think we'll, in this tutorial, this early, we're gonna find out how to manipulate them to a great degree, but it's good to know they're there. It is trying to draw my attention to the temperature. You even have this effect on the outside of the screen. It's getting colder and colder. So pretty clear to me that it's going to be important game mechanic to make sure that that temperature stays warm. This is a lot clearer than what I saw in game of Frozen War, sorry, where you had the furnace and I was dropping resources into it, but I didn't really understand. I'm not sure this is just my resources overview. Sleep. Your survivors can rise almost any challenge with a full night's sleep. I guess they're sleeping now. That's why it's so cold. Oh. It's trying to get me to finish. So already there's an opportunity to start spending gems. I have how many? 600? Eight's not a lot to ask for doing that. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. That's 7. That's cool.
Is that my imagination? Or is somebody out there shouting? Run for your lives! The snowstorm is coming! It buried our whole city under 10 feet of snow. Get out if you value your... And abandon my grandfather's dream? I need to warn everyone. We must start...
It's a lot of snow. Wow, so 1 hour here. That's... The last game had a 30-minute time? No, 15-minute timer, so 1 hour is quite extensive. So you have to have enough supplies. Then you have to survive the storm, and if you don't get your rewards, yada, yada, yada. So I need to upgrade my furnace to 5, and I need a bunch of wood. Makes sense. So here's your time pressure really early on to make sure that you feel you have to keep playing longer. And by playing longer, you're going to have a stronger attachment to the game. This is, you know, it's a big event. In the last game we saw that issue was the zombies were coming to attack and you had 15 minutes to prepare and make sure that you're leveled up. I don't know what happens if I just stop playing the game now. I mean, we got about 2 minutes left in the 15-minute playthrough. I'll probably keep playing as I usually do, but it's always good to see how far you can get. But I have a suspicion that if you wait 2 hours and come back, you still have a chance to finish this snowstorm. I don't think your whole civilization will be buried and then it's game over. That's not how these mobile games work. They want you to keep playing and they'll find a way to make it happen. So I'll just keep upgrading. I really wish there was an upgrade all button. It would just save me so much time. Is this the kitchen? The hunter's hut. It's a lot of tapping. Too much tapping. I was kind of curious if I could get everything upgraded in time to trigger that snowstorm So I have a feeling once you meet the requirements, the storm's just gonna hit. I do see like okay, so you can come in. There's a red notification there at the top for survivors. So I could come in here and make sure everything is full, which is good. Got rid of that red dot. I hate the red dots. All right, what's left? Raid the cookhouse? Yeah, why not? Let's just keep burning all my gems. Alright, so we can get the furnace up. So I still have to get the furnace to level... I think it was level 5, so there's a whole other round of upgrades here. We have hit time. That's the first 15 minutes. You see how fast that goes? So not a lot revealed to us. Not unlike the previous survival games we played. You've been introduced to the story. I'd say this story is a little bit lighter, a little bit easier to digest. We got through a lot more story, it felt like, in the last game. Much deeper narrative, so it wins out a bit on that front, where you had the zombies, whereas in this game you've got the snowstorm. You're dealing with winter. And, you know, based on what I've seen in the Frozen War game, there's going to be some kind of battle mechanic that's going to come in. I'm sure we'll have heroes that we can upgrade, similar to what we started to see in Frozen War. Not Frozen War, in Survival. Dark War Survivor. See, they all start to blend together. It's interesting. You know, as you play, in my experience, when you play these games, you start to hit the timers that are too long. And so if you're not a paying player, you're gonna want more of, but you love these games, you're gonna want more of them. And being able to cycle through these games, you come in and eventually one of them's gonna win out. And so that's more, this isn't what this series is about in the first 15 minutes, but down the line, once you get deeper into these games, it's interesting to see what mechanics they use and what methods they use to keep your attention and to make it the primary game. Because someone like me who likes the 4X style games, well, I just want to pick one and I want to invest a lot of time on it. That's my profile. But some people will be playing a couple games, and how does one game win out over another? What's the first game you play, you know, and why? And those are the things I like to, when I play these games, try and figure out, because that's what I would put my focus on with building a game or improving a game. And it's fun to see 3 similar games over the last few videos I've done to see how they compare. I'd say one of the positives on this one was the inbox pretty early on. I know it's more of a retention mechanic, more of a communication device. It's not going to generate direct revenue for you, but it is a very useful tool in keeping retention. And, you know, if I did activate my notifications, there's a chance there to say, hey, you've got mail, through a push notification on your phone, and it brings the user back because they know in the mailbox they're going to get some rewards that will help them out in their world. So I'll play, you know, we're in overtime right now, but we'll play a little bit longer and see. I'm not sure I'm going to beat that 1 hour. It's going to take a while. There is a cool animation when you upgrade your furnace or fire.
Smoke from our furnace represents hope to many survivors out in the frozen land. We'll have venison for dinner. I cannot wait. No! John, run!
What is that?
We're saved! Thank goodness. Whew. Thank you, kind strangers. Are you...
I'm Bahiti, an explorer with the Dawn Alliance. But first we need to get him to a
clinic? We have no steel for a clinic.
I've heard rumors of abandoned factories nearby. Hello from the Dawn Alliance's most handsome poster boy.
Alright, so here we go with the heroes now. It looks, these are skills? Yeah. So he already comes with 5 skills. Interesting. Ooh, I like this. Direct visual cue SFX when you unlock one of these menu options. So Now we have unlocked exploration. Quick deploy, or I guess, here we go. So yeah, here we go. Here's the battle system with the heroes. This reminds me a lot of... Can I move them? No. Okay, so in this game, in Dark War Survival, we saw that the heroes automatically played their skills, whereas this one, I actually get to engage and trigger it. So there might be more of a strategy involved with when you want to do that. I'll do a couple fights here. I'm not sure how long I can survive. You can also see on the screen there's an auto battle and a 1x, so you can speed up these battles over time. And there, yeah, so I'd be able to press a button to auto challenge. So I'll back out of here. I don't know if it wants me to keep going. We'll see. So new survivors have arrived. You have the characters again on screen with their little speech bubbles. Okay, so decision here. Dear Chief, thanks to your leadership, the survivors have found a place to settle down on the land of ice and snow. Please share your experience with everyone. This looks like a rate this app. Also, I didn't see this in any of the other games, but it's a useful mechanic for the developer to improve their rating on the app stores, which higher rating typically means more eyeballs, more visibility on the app store. And it's a... If you've ever browsed the app store and you're trying to decide which app to download, that rating on 5 stars typically is one of the factors that pushes you in one direction or another. If you see an app that has 2.8 stars, chances are you don't want to touch it. Whereas if one has 4.9 stars, hey, this one's validated. And the more people who have actually validated it is another factor. So it's not just enough to have if you have 4.9 stars and only 10 people rated your app, what does that even mean? If you have thousands and hundreds of thousands of people who rated it and it has a high score, that's even more effective. And so this is a mechanic that I've used in the past, and some of the best games on the market do it, is they prompt you and they say, hey, do you like this app? If so, praise us. In this case, they've stylized it to their narrative, which is great. It's a lot more subtle. It's not in your face like, hey, rate this app. And then there's a roast, which I might hit it just to see what happens. Praise would likely take me to the app store to actually rate them, or trigger a pop-up that asks me to rate them. Whereas roast, I've always saw that one as a great opportunity to redirect it into either a feedback form where I can say why I don't like it, or actually type in some messages, or even connect me with customer support to help me if I have a problem. So I'm going to hit roast just to see what happens. See? There you go. And so what I've got now is a form. My phone overheats a lot. I've actually experienced this with some games. It's kind of scary. Last thing I want is my battery melting and having to buy another, like, how many $100 phone? Like, come on. 0 of 2 answered. So I'm just gonna... I don't know. I'm trying to pick one that's relevant. So I don't like stories. I'm game story. I'm definitely not picking that one. Similar to other games I've played. I think that's actually valuable feedback. I tap by accident. There's nothing wrong. That's also great. And you can put other as well. So this is I would probably use an AI assistant to parse through any others feedbacks that come in if it comes in a great volume. But if there's only a few from here to there, you can always vet it. If you have other feedback, same thing. I no. Said it was optional, but I kind of had to input it. So as you can see, that's great because now they're getting feedback on why I didn't like the app. And that's actionable qualitative feedback. That's also quantitative because you're going to see how many people chose one option or another. So I like that a lot. If I had praised the app, it would have taken me through the flow to rate the app on 5 stars in the App Store. So it seems to be morning. We'll play a little bit longer. I want to see what happens with the snowstorm if I can, but an hour is a long time, and I don't want this video to be a full hour. The hero hall. Okay. Employment queue. All right, so I imagine my timer has run out. So for 1,000 gems, which is almost my entire balance, I get 2 days worth of another builder. But that means I have to keep playing for 2 days to get the value out of that. There's no chance I'm buying this right now. I don't know what my gem roll, bankroll will be in the long run. Maybe 1,000's just a drop in the pail, but right now it's almost all the money I have. There's no chance. There's also unlock permanently, so this is most likely the first premium option I've encountered in the game. So we're actually hitting a monetization, and here it is, right? So construction queue pack. I don't know if this is the first thing people buy. The timers are still pretty short, but it's in my mind. Now I know it exists, right? And so yeah, permanently unlock an extra construction worker or queue to develop your city with efficiency. And let's talk about this pop-up. It's pretty good. You got the hero image of people building. The text at the top is pretty subtle. I like to break down the actual UX and layout of these pop-ups. They are important because it's where do your eyes go? So right away my eyes are directly on this dude building. That's pretty important for what it's trying to sell me. The text is pretty light at the top. I don't even know. That's not really the first place I looked. The first place I looked was the 1500 in the middle there, because the blue box around what the rewards are you get or the content you get from this pack are pop out at you. And obviously there's 3,500%. I would put a comma there, 3,5000, but that's a personal preference. I won't get into it. There is some backstory there. Yeah, and you get a ton of content. So actually, this looks like a pretty valuable pack. I don't know what some of this stuff is at currently, which is always a problem, as you're trying to sell me stuff. I don't know what these V gold things are. Okay, VIP. I can click it. That's a perk. That's a bonus. You can actually have the context pop-ups here. So this is the contract. You get a contract of another builder. I like that. Food. I know what this stuff is. I don't know what this is. Alliance gift. So after purchasing this pack, all Alliance members will receive Alliance gift. So I'm not in an alliance, so that's a problem. Contains one from below. Okay, so they didn't use a comma in the 3,500%, but now they have .000%. I mean, I'm sure there's a reason. You probably get some weird loot crate drop rates for items down the line where it actually gets down to the 100th of a percent, but I'm a bit of a stickler for the numbers. So you're most likely to get hero XP. And an equal time chance of speed ups and only a 10% chance of 20 to 30 gems. That's not a lot of gems considering it was asking me to spend 1,000. 20 to 30 seems pretty low. But the big thing here is 1,500 gems. So instead of dropping 2,000 gems to get 2 days worth of a construction builder, I'm actually getting 1,500 gems to spend $3.99. Fortunately, there's the Get Gems tab here, so we'll take a look at that in a second. But yeah, very clear pop-up. You've got the badge. I'd make that badge maybe a little, when I say the badge, the 3,500%, it doesn't directly, I know what it means, but it doesn't really scream what it's supposed to, which is that this pack is 3,500,000 value. So you need like a plus, the word value, some other way of explaining that that's what that number means. For me at least, like if you've played a lot of games, you get it. People like to see these big numbers. It does help make sales. If you A/B tested with or without, it's going to drive a higher percentage of conversions. So it's a must-have. $3.99. The button's gold. Maybe that's just their choice. I love green buttons. That's my personal preference. All right, so $3.99. You're getting 1,500 gems plus a ton of other content. Let's check out their gem store. Cool. So there's no $3.99 price point here. Usually the strategy with these early packs is to, especially these starter packs or first time purchase options. This is the one they want you to convert on, $3.99. It's usually priced in between packs in the store. That's just a classic strategic choice. It makes it a little bit harder for the user to compare it, but the comparison's there. And so there's a few things I want to talk about with this with this store. Seems like, yeah, so it's the classic 6 packs where you're gonna get, you know, the roughly $1 to $100. And what I'll do first is compare it to the construction queue one. So 1,500 gems for $3.99. It's in between that 139 and $6.99 pack. And yeah, so 500 to 250. It's exactly in the middle. And but instead of $1, you're spending $4. So it's pretty fair. It's almost a very direct, but you're also getting all the other content in it. And so when you come in here, you're like, yeah, okay, that seems like a good amount for 1,500, $3.99. But now in this store, I don't know what this pop-up is. Okay, so there's some notifications for other people playing the game. I guess that's something they won from some kind of event or jackpot reward, or who knows. I haven't made it that far yet. Last though, the other really great thing they're doing, I love games that do this, is they offer a first time purchase option on each pack. So if I buy the 500 gem pack, I'm gonna get an extra 500. So it's a BOGO, buy one get one free, and that goes right up to the top pack. So obviously, the more you spend, the more extras you're gonna get. Very clean, very easy to understand, very easy to measure. There's a whole other video I can do on the value per money. So how many gems do you get per dollar, and how does that increase as the packs increase? And so they're not displaying this here, but that is another call out you can give users to help push them further up or to the more expensive packs. For example, buying that 50k pack, and it really does look like it's just straight up doubling. So 13 to 27 is 5,000, 10,000. I guess there is no bonus on these besides that first purchase option. But one strategy I've seen many games successfully pull off is if you buy that top pack for what you're seeing on my screen as $139.99, you're going to get an extra 10%, 20% gems compared to the other packs or the base pack for $1.39. And what that means is just you're getting more gems per dollar spent. And that's a great way to actually move players to spend more money to increase what we call the ARPPU, or the average revenue per paying user. Yeah, so I'm not going to buy it. I'm just doing the first 15 minutes, and we're probably well over 30 minutes, but that's what you get. So I will say, and this does line up with this game, Whiteout Survival. I believe it's more commercially successful than Dark War Survival, which we saw recently in my series if you watched it. And Frozen War is a brand new game, so it's hard to say how well that one's doing already, but this game does well. I really like the straightforward monetization, and it comes in quick, comes in early, and it's not overbearing. It's very much an easier decision. You're not overwhelmed by the packs and the offers that the game is presenting to you this early when you haven't even maybe decided if you like the game or not.
It's awfully cold. We need to check the city temperature.
So now we're going to get the breakdown on the city temperature.
The temperature is too low. We have to operate the furnace.
Okay. Apparently I'm freezing my people alive. That's just terrible. Max power. So, okay. So this is an ongoing, it's eating away at some of my resources.
We could certainly do with more materials.
That I agree. I do have.
All right. So hero recruitment. Right. So I saw this in the Frozen War game. you're getting, I guess in this game you're getting keys, and this allows you to roll for new heroes. Whoop, click kind of fast there.
I'll do all I can to restore law and order.
So this guy looks like a defensive unit. I don't know who gave it away. He also got a book. What is this? Upgrades a mythic hero's exploration skill. Okay, so I guess it makes them stronger in that menu we saw. I'm out of keys. So gold keys 1500. See what they're doing there, right? I don't know if anyone would actually do this, but if you buy that $3.99 pack, it came with 1500 gems, so you could come and buy a key. I'm a free-to-play player, typically. I won't spend money on that kind of stuff, or I won't drain my gems that way, so I'm going to try to find keys through other methods in the game. And advanced recruit. So that was an epic recruitment, and this is an advanced. I guess advanced, I'm assuming, is a more common, less value. I don't know how many I have. Okay, I had about 3. Okay. So now we've unlocked heroes, and again, I just love it. It draws your attention, and it unlocks each of these menu options very slowly and methodically, one at a time, so that you're really orientating yourself with the different features in the game.
Hello from the Dawn Alliance's most handsome poster boy.
So I can level these guys up. Okay, I'm out. Just like we saw in Dark War Survival, there's some breadcrumbing of rewards to bring you to the story. Keep focus on the narrative. So I can go ahead and level up these guys too.
Restore law and
Alright. Nope. 7-day sign in. I think this is where I'm going to stop the game after this one, because I imagine I'm well beyond my first 15 minutes at this point. But you can see how I believe this game has done a better job at really easing me in and introducing its features more cleanly. So 7-day sign in, straight up retention tool. Okay, this is, you want people coming back in their first 7 days. Most games measure their early retention this way. If you installed, say I played today, that's my day 0. And tomorrow when I come back, that's day 1. The next day is day 2, day 3, day 4. And so what they're measuring is like how many people who installed or played today for on their D0, what's the return rate? How many are coming back in 7 days? Is it 50%? Unlikely. It's probably closer to 10% or less. But these are important metrics. You want to always improve these metrics so that you can grow your player base over time. And so what we have here is very clear. 7-day sign-in gift, legendary hero. So the chase here is for the hero, Molly. Is what I'm gathering. I have no idea how these stats compare. It's too early in the game, but I'm sure within 7 days of playing, I'm going to learn what her true value and skills are. Although it looks like on day 2 you get her. So what's on day 7? Interesting. So, oh, but you're getting shards. Okay. You get Molly shards. What is this? Exploration manual. Grants a set of infantry heroes epic gear, including 4 items. Okay, so that will help you level up and make your hero stronger. 10 keys or gold keys, which will allow you to get another hero, and 500 gold on day 1, which I just got right away out the gate. So that's cool. So today's day 1 for this communication, and I actually like this a lot. They're putting Molly, the actual character, on day 2, so I have to come back tomorrow for this. Just based on what I'm playing, tomorrow is actually in 6 hours, so it's like I'm coming back today, but then I'd still have to come back 24 hours later to get the keys. So there is, I don't know, I can't tell you offhand right now if that claim tomorrow is fixed so that it's roughly 7 hours from now. So I come back again today, or if it's actually just hard coded to a specific time of the day, no matter where you are in the world. I don't know the answer to that. That's one of the decisions you have to make when you design these systems. And then day 7, I have no idea what that is. It's too early for me, but I guess it looks kind of cool. It's some kind of cannon. There's a puzzle piece on it, so it's 5 pieces. Yeti Spirit Widget. Okay, so it helps Molly get even stronger, right? So and I have to be level 15. So again, you get these rewards. The main push here are the ones that are highlighted in gold. So the Molly herself and her Spirit Widget. Yeah, those are the ones that they're saying, hey, you're going to want to come back for these. And it's a really strong proposition of value to come back, quote unquote, tomorrow to get my day 2 reward. The other nice thing, last one I'm going to say here, is you have the video, which is going to play sideways because that's my phone orientation right now. I don't know if I can't rotate it. Production value on this is really high though. So there you can see her using her weapon, right? Which is being displayed in the 7th slot. So that video, that little clip, is an advertisement for this entire pack. And it looked great. You know, the animation team, 3D team did a good job on this. So look at all the effort. What I'll pass on to you is look at all the effort going into keeping players coming back within the first 7 days. It's very important. If a company is spending user acquisition money, if they're advertising the game, they want to get their return on ad spend. You know, they want to have their ROI. You know, if you're spending $40 to, well, I don't know what the price is for these games. But let's say you're spending $7 to acquire a person. You're hoping that they spend, you know, maybe not $7 in their first week, but to buy that $3.99 pack, it at least shows that you're getting some of your return back. And typically the goal for most companies I've seen over the years and worked with is you want to get about 100% of your money back within the first 360 days. And there's indications along the way. There's some milestones. So in the first 7 days, what percentage do you need to be at to predictively get to 100% within 100 days? And ditto for 30 days, 90 days, etc. And not everyone's going to spend in your game, and so there's some math there on how that works, but just TLDR version is it's really important to keep players coming back because that increases the chances that they'll spend in your game. The more time they spend, the more attached they are to your game, the more they'll hit those paywalls and they'll want to invest so that they can advance. For them, I believe more important than getting that first purchase is making sure I come back tomorrow, that I play again. And that's why you see with the 7-day sign-in, Molly, there's an entire 3D video with animation and movement, etc. built for it. There's a lot of production put into that one. And I've seen that little play this video, you know, in other games as well. So it must be a strategy that works. Something I would A/B test just to make sure before you go making more videos, because I'm sure once you pass the first 7 days, there's going to be another offer. And if you're going to want to keep cranking out those videos, you're going to want to make sure that it's valuable to invest in them. What's the ROI even on building those pretty detailed scenes for the player? Yeah. Any last thoughts? I think that's good. All right, stay tuned for the next one. Thanks for watching. If you like the content, throw me a like. If you have questions, drop it in the comments. And if you want to see a specific game or have questions about further gameplay you'd like to see explored, let me know.